Hello, 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 everybody. This is Debbie, the from Teacher Success Coach. How are you guys doing? I hope that you're well and feeling very blessed as I am. Right, what are you grateful for today? It is Friday, the end of the week. Some people are grateful that they have actually seen the week through and it hasn't been as challenging as they expected. Some people are grateful that it is Friday and they're saying, thank God it's Friday. It's time to unwind and time to do nothing. Some people are grateful for a whole lot of different things. Some people are grateful that, okay, they're not going into work tomorrow, so that's something to be joyful of and celebrate, etc., etc. Well, this week have been very, very challenging. My students have been doing exams, which, when students are doing exams, you as a teacher also feel very anxious. And as a parent, if they're your child, you also feel very anxious. So that was one of the things. I was feeling quite anxious. And another thing is students came in yesterday and said, Miss, can you help us revise? Because I'm panicking. I thought, oh my goodness, you're making me panic as well. So I had to do a little bit of revision with them. I don't even think they wanted revision. I think it was more reassurance because I did very little revision with them. I just gave them some pet talks and they said, okay, Miss, we're going to leave now. And if we need you, we're going to come back. Okay. So I think that's all they needed. So that was yesterday. Today, as I said, the whole week they're doing exams. Today, the last day of exams. So next week we're back to normal timetable. One part of me is quite glad for that because we were so much things to cover. The other part of me is, oh my goodness, I was actually doing some independent planning and marking. So I'm back to juggling everything again. So that was one thing I was grateful for, the fact that my students were doing exams this week. So even when we had the tube strike, it wasn't too much of an issue when I actually got in late because I knew I had no classes then. So that was quite good. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for being alive. Oh my goodness. The beauty of being alive, the fantastic thing of being here, the ability to do a lot of things that you have a mission to do, a passion and your purpose. I am so grateful for that. The opportunity and the experience. Whoa, that's powerful. And another thing I'm grateful for, oh my goodness. I love cashew nuts. I don't do salted cashew nuts, just natural cashew nuts. And yesterday on my way, because I had to go a different way yesterday, there were no tubes, as I said in one of my live, etc. So I had to take buses and walk, etc., etc. Anyway, on my way home yesterday evening, I pop into a shop. One of those shops that they see, you see there's a lot of natural things. It's like a health shop. Anyway, when I went in there, they had different kind of cashews, the salted one and the raw one. Well, I just love the raw cashew nuts. And I bought the biggest bag they had there. Because I haven't had cashew nut for a while. Because I've deliberately stopped myself from eating it because I could sit and eat a whole big bag of cashew nuts. I think is either 2.5 or 5. I can't even remember. I couldn't wait to get home. Throw into that bag and I'm thinking, okay, you know what, let me roast it. I had a couple handfuls and I thought, okay, I'll roast it. Oh my goodness, that's one of the worst things. I love roasting them anyway. And I just been eating this constantly. Last night I was doing some marking, so I didn't have any sleep last night. So I was just feasting on cashew nuts. This morning when I got up, I've got one bloated stomach. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. That's the reason why I don't buy cashew nuts. I could sit and eat the whole packet. It doesn't matter what the size is, And to make it worse, when I actually roast it naturally, oh Lord, so that's one of the things I've been grateful for. All this cashew nuts I've been eating, but I've also told myself when this packet is finished, because it was a huge packet, when it's finished, I am not buying any more cashew nuts for a little while because I could just sit and feast on that cashew nut. And that's what I've been doing. I came home. I couldn't wait to go into it because it was nicely roasted. Oh my goodness. And I've been eating. And the more you eat, the more your stomach starts purging out because you're eating too much of these cashew nuts. So that's something I'm grateful for. My cashew nuts. It's just the natural cashew nuts, no salt, just the raw ones. And then you roast it. It's just beautiful. So that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for you guys for tuning in to me. I am so grateful for that, for actually coming onto my platform, sharing some of your thoughts with me, also, sharing into my topics. I am extremely grateful for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, so those are the things I'm grateful for. What's my win today? Oh my goodness. Although some of my students are having exams, I also have some students. I do year 10, 11, 12, 13. Year 11 and 13 had exams because I think I teach 4 or 6 of that group. I can't even remember, lose track. And I also teach year 10 and year 12. They had no exams, so I still had, teaching with them. And there's one student in the year 12. She's doing sociology. That student is extremely challenging. And I also know that when a student is challenging, is either the work is too easy or the work is too challenging for her to do. And I've given her 6 detention already. She's rude and all of that. And I was thinking about her yesterday, because yesterday I sent her out of my lesson yesterday, because she was just very obnoxious yesterday. I said, I'm not having that. Get out of my lesson. Take your things. Don't go and don't come back. But I said, go and don't come back. Anyway, I was thinking about it yesterday on my way home as to how I can effectively connect with a student, because I know I wasn't connecting with her. I know I wasn't meeting her where I was, I know I was not meeting her, where she was at, right? I'm not even too sure she know where she was at. I also know that I was not supporting her the best way I can. I knew all of that, and I knew something had to change. One of my colleagues was saying to me, oh, she's so obnoxious, I just give her detention. I said, no, we need to find a way around that. Detention is not the answer, because we know detention doesn't work. Because after a while, the student becomes so complacent that, oh, well, I'm having detention everywhere, so might as well just behave bad and get my detention. No, so that's not working. So I was really thinking about that student. And I thought, okay, I've got them today. And part of me kind of dreaded the fact that, she's going to be in the class, and how could I connect with that student? Anyway, I knew I also had to change my mindset. And I was saying to my colleague, it's about mindset and how we deal with a student. We need to change all of that, Anyway, in my class, going to my class, I was just thinking, just processing the information. I think, okay, how am I going to deal with that? I got to my class before they came in. And when she came in, it's like, I had to meditate and connect, because I had to find another way of connecting with a student, because I know I wasn't connecting with her. And I know I wasn't going to give her any more detention. I've never given detention. I don't believe in detention. I know detention doesn't work, etc., etc. Anyway, so when she came in, they were late, but she and 2 others were late. Normally I would mark them late. I thought, you know what, I'm just tired of this as well. So when they came in, I said, look, you guys are late. Miss, sorry, have you done the register? I said, no, I'm in the process of doing it. I said, the fact that you guys late, it doesn't even matter if I do it. I could just mark you guys late. I said, but I'm not going to do that. You guys need to step out. I give them the, the spiel, etc. Anyway, that she then came. She was going to sit in a corner. I said, no, you need to sit right in front of me. Where are you going to? I said, you know the drill. Anyway, she sat in front of me. And I was just processing in my head, because they also have to do something called do now. While we do the register, they're spending 15 minutes. It's supposed to be between 5 and 10 minutes doing this do now. But for me, I give them longer, because I give them more topics to do, because I want to, summarize and recap, etc., etc. Anyway, so I noticed that she wasn't doing it. I thought, oh gosh, are you going to say something? No, Debbie, say nothing. Just leave it. So I'm trying to work out in my head, because, this is my 6th or 7th week with the students. So I really don't know them well academically. I've got vague idea academically, because, I could just test them, by the way they interact, etc., etc. And I thought that student is very, very weak. I said she loves reading, but she's very weak. So anyway, I asked her to read, blah, blah. So anyway, going through in my head, as to how I'm going to deal with her. Anyway, I sent another one of them out because she was on her phone. So I said to her, go out, stay out, don't come back in. And I said to her, I'm giving you a detention. But then I thought of that. I think it's a waste of time. Anyway, so that particular student, I was still processing how I'm dealing with her. They did the do now. I gave them the answer. We all walked through the, went through the answer, etc., etc. And then we started the, the main body of the lesson. So then I asked that particular student, the one that's been obnoxious, etc., to read. She said, oh yes, I realize she loves reading, but she's very weak. Anyway, she's on report. She was fantastic. I couldn't fault that student. She was attentive. She didn't answer any questions when I threw questions out, but already had in my head that she was weak, because I've been observing a few things. And as I said, when students disrupt a lesson, is either they're very weak or they're very bright. So those are the two main factors you have disruption in your class. So as educators, we need to find a way of dealing with it, because we don't want them to disrupt the class. So we need to make sure that we give them differentiation work. If they're extremely bright or if they're weak, we need to make sure we bring them some work to them. But at the same time, you don't want her friends to see where she's at. Anyway, so she read, etc. So after the lesson, I said to her, the two of them. One of them was on the phone, the one I threw out. I said to her, when the lesson finished, you better come and see me, which she did. So the other student who's been disrupted, etc., she, I said to her, okay, I need to see you. She would be arguing and carrying on, and then I would have to say to her, okay, detention, just leave detention. So I said, none of that. She said to me, Miss, yes. She said, I want to apologize for my behavior. I said, really? I said, why you want to apologize? She said, because I was thinking about it and I know my behavior wasn't very good. I said, okay. I said to her, it's very true. I said, your behavior have been really unacceptable. And then we go into it. And I said to her, the two reasons why students are always disruptive and reading lessons is either the lessons are too challenging or the lesson is too easy. And I said to her, no, it's for you, it's too challenging. On her face was a sign of relief that she didn't have to say much to me. I detected that. So I said to her, you are a fantastic student. Because the work is too challenging for you, instead of you saying to me it is challenging, or, you're having a discussion, instead you're rebelling and you're being obnoxious and disrupting my lesson. I said, I understand all of that. I said, but you know what? And I also understand, because you've got, you have 3 close friends, you don't want to show that you're silly, etc. I said, but there's never a question that is silly. It's okay to, to ask me when you don't know, etc. But her face, as I said, was total relief. So I said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I said, I know that you are not as strong as you should be. So at lunchtime, we're going to start going through, we're going to have sessions at lunchtime. I say, I also know that the people you hang around with are going to want to ask you where you're going. It's up to them. Up to you. You could say to them that, you need to see me. I say you could run me. You could say, oh, you know how Miss, like to give me the attention, she pick on me. I say, you could tell them all of that. It doesn't matter what you want to tell them. But I want you to come so we could go through the topics so that you could start understanding it. Her face lit up. So I said to her, I also realized that you wouldn't want anybody to know that you're not understanding, because that's how you're behaving. That's the reason why you're behaving like that. So I say, well, I have not, I say, in terms of student confidentiality, I say, so you decide what time at lunchtime you want to come to me, so that we could spend at least 15 minutes every day going through it, going through the topic, so that you could understand it. And it's going to be much easier for you. Her face lit up. And it really, that was my biggest win. So the others were waiting for her outside. And I know she didn't tell them why, because I said to her, oh, I needed to see you. And she said, Miss, can you sign my report? So they all think that, me as usual, talking to them, because when I catch them, I'm talking to them about everything I could remember. So nothing that, because they were looking at her and say, come on, hurry up. And it's like, oh, Miss is going to connect this, and how she do a linking with all of that. So I knew that's what she said to them. But my win today is I was able to have a breakthrough. And it was fantastic having a breakthrough, because I knew that student was very weak. That's the reason why her behavior was like that. But the beautiful thing is she's willing to engage, and she's willing to come so that we could actually sit down and go over the topics and go over the areas she didn't understand and stuff like that. So today, that was my biggest win for the week and my biggest breakthrough, because she was very receptive. And that was really, really good. And the also thing is that she was very she was very reflective in the sense that she realized that she was very rude. She was very rude to me in my lessons. And I decided, I'm not even battling with you. I'm just saying, just go out of my lesson. And she's trying to explain, just go out of my lesson, close the door behind you. That's it. You know, I wasn't willing to engage. I have no time to argue with students. I don't waste my time arguing with students because then you have a battle going on. I'm a big woman. I ain't got time to battle with no student. I send you out, get out of my class. Or else I'll send security to escort you out of my lesson. There's no argument. You know, so the beautiful thing is she realized on terms of reflection, because I wanted to know, did anybody tell you to apologize? So how did you come to this? And it was interesting because she's 16, yeah, I think she's 16. It was interesting that she was saying to me she was reflecting on her behavior and she knew it wasn't nice. And that was really lovely because she was taking responsibility. And I said to her, thank you very much for that and well done for taking responsibility. I'm really grateful that you started to reflect and you acknowledged that. So that was brilliant. And she just beamed. It was really lovely. So that's my win today. You know, I would actually put this as a win. You know, it is such a big win for me that it is my win for the whole week because I had a breakthrough with a student. And you know, she keep on saying to me, thank you, Miss. Miss, have a fantastic weekend. Da, 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 da. You know, I remember the first, after I've given her the first detention, she said, oh, I really don't like you. And just think, when you first came, you know, I was talking to you, I thought you were my favorite. I said, hold on, I don't want you to like me. No, I said, when you like me, it's challenging because there's too much compromise. I said, when you don't like me, when I actually send you guys out to the class, I don't have to think. I just say, get out of my class. So I don't want you guys to like me. What I want you to do is to respect me and do my work. Don't bother like me. Just respect me and do my work. That's all I want from you. You have work to do, and I'm here for a reason, to make sure I give you the knowledge and support you. You just need to take that. Liking is not part of the agenda. No, sir. So, you know, that's my big win today. I had a breakthrough with a student. It felt so beautiful. For me as an educator, it was aha moment because I actually had a breakthrough. This is I think it's week 6, week 7. I think it's week 7. Yeah, this is week 7, my 7th week in that school. And, you know, I noticed in terms of her attitude and behavior, etc. And they did a mock, which was a wishy-washy mock anyway. As I was saying to them, I said that mock haven't tested anything. So I'll be giving you guys another one in the next 3 weeks because that haven't tested anything in sociology. You guys waffle the answer because there's no right and wrong answer because there were no testing of theories. So, you know, you all scored very high mark, and that's not a reflective of your true academic ability. So I'll be giving you a test. So I'm giving them another test in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I would really be testing their knowledge base. You will also testing their academic ability because we'll be looking at theories and how you actually use the theories to connect with the theory. You know, so that'll be quite nice. So I would actually see how they actually, you know, what they've understood from the teacher they had before me and what they've understood from my lesson. So that would be a real that would give a real guideline, a real measure of where they're at. So anyway, that was my win today. I had a breakthrough, and I was saying to my colleague that I had a breakthrough and I'm really excited about it, you know, but these people believe in detention, but I'm not a detention person, even though I've given so many detention this from the time I've been there. I've said to one of my colleagues this morning that detention doesn't work. I know, she know it doesn't work. I'm not wasting my time. I'm just going to try to engage with them on a one-to-one basis and use meditation and mindfulness with them to see how I could actually have some breakthrough with them. So that's my win, people. As I said, in every situation, there is a win. You know, but there's sometimes we just need to look deep in it to find it. And we need to change our definition of winning, how we actually define winning. We need to, you know, reassess our definition, redefine our idea of winning or failure, etc. And only then would you be able to see the win in everything you do when you begin to redefine what it means to you. Winning is not the end goal, is not the achievement. Winning is also getting on the track. it's like, you know, getting on the track and start running. That's a win for some people, because it might be that they've been so fearful to actually start. For some people, winning is a start. Starting on the journey, that's a win. So that's what I say to you. In every situation, there is a win. Sometimes it just means that you need to redefine what winning is for you, not necessarily the end goal. The end goal come after, but getting onto the track or on the way to the goal, that could also be a win. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic, brilliant weekend. And remember, identify your win. Also, remember, identify what you're grateful for. The more you're grateful for things, the more the universe bring you things to be grateful for. And in life, there is always winning and losing. In every situation, there is a win, and in every situation, there is a losing. So you need to identify the winning in the situation you're in and celebrate it. Sometimes you need to redefine what winning means to you in order to identify the win. And most of all, most importantly, do not forget to take care of yourself. Make sure you start filling up your bucket. An empty bucket won't stand. There is no point in you having an empty bucket. You need to pour in you lots of loving and self-care, because only when you actually love yourself and care for yourself would you be able to give someone that, because at least you know what it looks like. If you don't know what something looks like, you don't know when to give it or how to give it. Right? And buy yourself something. It doesn't have to be buy, let me rephrase that. Do something wonderful with yourself this weekend to demonstrate self-love and self-care. You know, over the weekend, last weekend, I bought myself some flowers because I'm in love with me. Be in love with yourself. Fall in love with you. And everything you would do when you're falling in love with someone else, do the same thing for you. It doesn't always have to involve monetary thing. It could involve spending time in nature with you. Or just spending time with you. Just spending time just dancing, just running in the park. Anything that would make you feel good about you and sharing time with you. Take care, people. Stay blessed. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I could talk all day, all night, because I love talking. So I'm going to come off now. Take care. Stay blessed.